Hey, what's going on? Ah, I tell you, man, I haven't had Coors Light in a long time. I tried Coors Light the other day. I wasn't missing nothing. I've been trying to find a light beer I like, and I actually tried Miller Light. I haven't had Miller Light in man 10 years, and I got to tell you, I really like it. This isn't gonna be a beer review. Me sitting around slugging Miller Light. I'll do a quick little cooking video. It's hot, hotter than a monkey's nutsack down here. So I got the AC on. I'm using my old camera to do a cooking video. Uh, uh, um, uh, uh. That's YouTube. All we need is the towel sitting here. Look, I threw another in there, and ooh, this is a shot. It's got this little thing that says punch here. You're supposed to do it with a key to get a smooth pour, they say. And every time I try punching it with my key, I actually got it through that time. Let's see how smoothly it pours down my yap. Wow, that really does pour down smooth. I think this is giving High Life a run for its money, man. Like I say, I don't put on airs. I don't try and impress anybody. Like, look, I'm drinking a $42 beer out of a growler brewed with moss from Ireland. This is straight out of Milwaukee, people. And it tastes great and it's less filling. Alright, let's get rolling. I picked up these big old lunker mushrooms. Here's a fun fact. Do you know what mushrooms grow in? I do. They grow in horse shit. I used to work on a horse farm, and the horses would poop and peep and poop and peep and peep and poop and poop and peep all day long in their stall. And we would come in and we'd take pitchforks, scoop up all the poop, put it into um, we'd put it into a big wheelbarrow, not a wheelbarrow, but like a big industrial wheelbarrow, and then we dump it into the wagon on a trailer, and we take it to some wonderful place. If you could imagine, I'm going to transport you to this wonderful place I'm talking about. We called it the shit pit, and it's a giant piles of straw, saturated in horse urine, with thousands of horse poops. And the funny thing about it, here's another fun fact. You got to get rid of it because it composts and conducts heat. In some cases, catches on fire. But it didn't hang around that long. Every Monday, a truck would come with this big claw, and it would pick up the whole straw piles, and it would take it away, and they would take it away for free. And I couldn't figure out why they would take it away for free. Well, this is why. They grow mushrooms in it in a cave. They take it, they pour it into a big pile, and they actually light it on fire. And then they take that ash and they mix it with dirt and compost it for a while. And they put it in the cave and they sprinkle mushroom spores all over it. And that's where these wonderful stuffing mushrooms come from. So let me show you how to make some. This is a fine accoutrement, you might say. I love that name, accoutrement. That's fun to say, huh? Accoutrement. You know, it's been so long, I can't stop saying So let's get rolling here. This is easy. This is a nice little side dish. Like I said, it's hot as a rat's ass down here. So I'm not going to turn the oven on or anything like that. Just going to make this, and I'm going to have a couple Jersey tomatoes. Cut it into quarters. Like that. You see how big they are? But the thing about mushrooms is there's a lot of liquid inside of them. They're going to reduce down. And this is an easy side dish. What I used to do with this, way back when, I used to serve this up over steak. And this is such an easy thing. A rhesus monkey could do this. You can get a mushroom brush out and brush every little bit of grit off of it, but it's not like dirt. It's not going to get crunchy in your mouth. But just the fun fact of you knowing that at one time it came out of a horse's anus. Isn't that fun? Honestly, this little punch thing, which I was just like, yeah, what a joke. Because Coors has those two little folds, but when you pop that hole in here, it goes back so smooth. I remember we used to punch a hole in the beer and crack it and knock it back. There wasn't much going on around here. But I gotta tell you, this Miller Lite is delightful. Another one of the things I like, I have no airs. I like drinking out of cans. Oh, I know that drives people crazy. I like cans. I'd rather drink it out of the can than drink it out of a glass. Now this wasn't so hard, right? You're all following me. I was gonna stuff these mushrooms and make some kind of seafood stuffed mushroom, but too much of a hassle. I don't feel like doing it tonight. I'm kind of tired. I unloaded like 3 tractor trailers today, and my ass is dragging. All right, so I'll bring you over to the old skillet. We're over here at the old skillet. I was like I said, I haven't done a video in like 4 months or something like that. And the funny thing about my channel, when I do videos, we're going to use a little butter in here. Now, what I did here is, this is going to be fortified butter, it's called. You're like, what's fortified butter? What fortified butter is, it's just a little bit of olive oil in the pan, and then we're adding butter to it. Get in there, get in there. Yeah, 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 yeah. There we go. Brown the butter a little bit. What an annoying noise. Now we're going to take all these mushrooms and we're going to put them in this pan. In the pan, yo. Oh, I drifted off of what I was talking about. And we're going to let these reduce down for probably 20 minutes at medium heat. Depending on what your stove is. Medium heat for me is a little bit below half. But now that I goosed it up with all that cold mushrooms, I'm going to bring it up to half. Then we'll check back on this. We'll check back on this in, I don't know, about 20 minutes. Alrighty. I got my Jersey tomato here. This hasn't been a great year for tomatoes, honestly. No, we just didn't have good tomatoes this year. It's coming to the end of August now, and usually August, early into September is when we get the best tomatoes. But we didn't get too much rain, and I've tried ripening this up for a while. Oh, what I was saying before was funny. When I don't do videos, my subscribers climb and climb and climb. And since I stopped doing videos, I probably got a couple hundred subscribers. And then when I do a video, they run like I'm handing out pamphlets to join the Hare Krishners. So I don't, like I said, I don't get caught up in that crap with subscribers. People that subscribe and unsubscribe and subscribe and unsubscribe, subscribe. I don't know what it's about. It seems like when you get close to a number, they'll unsubscribe to keep you below that number. You know, a lot of kids watch YouTube. So I don't get caught up in that. And I honestly, I wouldn't care if I had 10 subscribers. I'd still do videos. So let's try this tomato out. I can't wait anymore. I just can't wait. And it's real simple here. Nothing. Wow, that knife's really dull. But you see how it's, I would say, borderline mealy. See, it's not a true Jersey tomato. It's really red, really juicy, and really ripe. This, I got a funny feeling, is going to be pretty disappointing. A little bit of seasoned salt on there. Not a lot. Yeah. Wow, I really went wild with that. Didn't want that much to come out. Yeah, let's rock and roll. Yeah. It's mealy. It's not terrific. The corn hasn't been that great this year either. We had a fruit tree blight out here. I don't know if you call it blight. It was infestation of some kind of bug. I'm not a bug guy. Like, I'm not a bug guy, but my fig tree that I've been growing for 10 years, and last year it probably produced 800 figs, something like that. It's a big tree. Completely dropped out and died. I think it only popped out with one leaf. We didn't get any figs this year. And I was pissed off about it because, like I said, it took like 10 years for me to grow it. And I gave it to my parents as a anniversary present. No, it's not a horrible tomato, but it's not like one of those winter tomatoes. Those disgusting things that are best frozen and thrown at people's heads. If you were so inclined. But I was looking at the tree and I was watering it, and like I said, we didn't have too much rain. And we had a really cold winter. They called it a Arctic vortex, I believe it was called. Really, really cold. It didn't seem like it was that cold, but let me stir. I gotta stir the old mushrooms. Stand by. Stand by. Stand by. That is the magic of live TV. I can sit here in my underwear, do a cooking video while washing my sneakers and talking to you folks. So back to where I was. I snapped one of the branches because I'm like tough like that, and I gotta snap stuff and break stuff because I'm all kinds of badass. No, I just wanted to snap it and see if it was still alive because I was curious. Well, I was really tough and badass, but that's besides the point. I snapped the branch, and the whole inside was full of these little bugs. They were so small, they were like, they almost looked like gnats. They were so small, but these little fuckers were fast, man. As fast as I saw him, he went right down into the branch, and it infuriated me. And I went to next door and I beat my neighbor up and I kicked his dog and I snapped his chicken's neck. No, I snapped another branch, and sure enough, it was in the other branch. So whatever it was, this is the same bug that killed our maple trees. It killed maple trees we've had for 35 years. It knocked one out in the whole summer. It was doing fine in the summer and it just dropped out. All the leaves fell out of it. And I got my chainsaw out because that's how I roll. I got my chainsaw out and I chopped it down because, like I said, that's how I roll. And when I made the first cut and it fell over, those little bugs were on the inside. And I didn't want to bring them in the house and use them for firewood because I was afraid these bugs would get into the house and do some work on the house. But foolishness played a part in this. I said, I'll cut it, I'll stack logs, I'll put them in the garage. It's freezing cold out. These fuckers will die, which they didn't. And they got into the walls of my parents' house. There's some kind of wood-eating termite-ish. They're not termites, but they're little furry fuckers, I'll call them. So when I was talking to my neighbor, he said that his fig tree died. And you have to have two fig trees. You just can't have a fig tree and it just starts popping out figs. They cross-pollination, the bee thing, the birds and the bees type deal. So when we first had it, he told me he never had a fig until, I showed up with my tree because that's how I roll. And he started getting figs for the first time for him in 10 years. It's gotten better. But it's not fantastic. You see that white stuff in the middle, that flaky white stuff? It's not like a true Jersey tomato. True Jersey tomato is all red inside, ripe, has blemishes on it. It's not the prettiest girl in town, but you'll still take her out on a date because she's a sure thing. Where was I going with this? Yeah, so the fig tree died, and the whole summer went by, and all of a sudden, in the past 2 weeks, maybe 10 leaves popped up out of the bottom, but the whole tree's dead. I don't have high expectations for it to last the winter. We had the hurricane, and the hurricane snapped my cherry tree in half. I had Queen Anne cherries on it. I had planted a peach tree, an apple tree, and I have 2 Comus pear trees. They're probably 6 feet high now. I sprouted them from seed, and I was growing them in kitty litter containers. Again, that's how I roll. And they're doing great because where I live is I'm down the shore. Down the shore, yo. But where my parents live, they're more inland. So the salt air kind of cuts back on a lot of the bug species around here. I mean, we still get the nuisance ones like mosquitoes and flies and stuff like that. We have these things. Hold on. Time to mush, stir, whatever. I gotta do something with the mushrooms. Stand by. We have this awful thing down here. Two things. They call cluster flies in the house, and and we have something called a fly bloom. And what a fly bloom is, when a lot of fish die at sea and then wash up on shore, millions and millions and millions of flies come out of these damn fish. And then you'll look up one day, like it's usually after a good rain and then a hot day, you look up at the sky and you actually see clouds of flies. It looks literally like clouds, black clouds. And they descend on your house, lift it up, and take it to another state. No, they descend on your house, and no matter how bottled up your house is, they get in. It starts off 1, 2, 6, 14, 30, and you wake up and it's like the frickin' Amityville Horror. It's a nightmare. At one point, it wasn't so bad this year. Last year was awful. There's only so much swatting you can do, and the fly swatter fills up with squished flies, and it looks like a meat pie, and it's completely disgusting. I had the vacuum cleaner hose out, and I was just going to the windows and vacuuming them out by the thousands. But I only saw probably 20 this year. So I'm going to check back with you on the next step with the mushrooms. Now you see how quick these bastards shrink down? I'm not losing it. This is pretty easy. A little bit of soy sauce. Now basically you want to cook these till they shrink half in size, half of their size. All right, that's it. That's where we want to go. See how it reduced down, it shrunk down quite a bit? You don't want to kill them, murder them, slaughter them. You want them to have a little bit of snap to them. And what these do is, if you're trying to get off meat and not eat meat, this is one of those accoutrements, one of these little side dishes that has the consistency of a meat product, where it satisfies your meat craving. Let's scoop this bad boy out. See how nice and brown they are? Well, like I said, they're not murdered. We didn't murder them. Now, if you wanted to, you could put a little bit of fresh spinach on this. Wilt it in with a pan. Whoa, one got away. Use that one. Come on over. Whoa. There we go. Let's give it a taste. I'm sure it won't disappoint. That is so good. Hot, man. That's so good. That's a whole meal in itself. Alright guys, take care. Later.